Hello and welcome again to Genesis Custom Lightsabers. You've seen this one before if you're a member of the forums. I've been working on this saber for a while and preparing it for Crystal Focus, but I decided instead that this saber was going to be my my new prototype of the new sound card coming out of Plecter Labs called the Petit Crouton. It is essentially a simpler and less expensive version of the Crystal Focus, one sound font. But really it functions very much the same. In fact, this saber, because I had designed it and prepared it for Crystal Focus, it was really easy to adopt a Petit Crouton in there and get it working and ready to go. So I'm just going to give you a quick demo of the things that this sound card can do. Of course, for the demo we want to have a blade. I'm going to keep the light on, so the blade won't be super dramatic, but you get to see a sense of the color. It's quite a bright light on my workspace here. So as with the Crystal Focus, you've got an auxiliary button, you've got a main power button, and a blade retention screw. For those that haven't seen this saber, it's powder-coated a solar flat black parts from the custom saber shop. Some of them I've modified, like the emitter here, and machined down and included a black O-ring. I powder-coated it with a copper to match the powder-coating copper on the custom Ace Rocket pommel. All my Crystal Focus sabers have things like the switches high up on the design, and also a bar graph. But in the case of a Petit Crouton, it only has two accent LEDs, so I did something a little bit different with the bar graph. Get a look of it here. When I remove the kill key that sends power from the rechargeable battery to the board, you get the effect of a power level meter. So there's 10 LEDs in there, really small, that I'll show you that again, that when the saber is powered up with the kill key removal, it animates the power level of the battery. So the whole time the saber is on, whether it's used or not, you've always got a standing look at what the condition of the battery is like. So in the middle of a duel, if I was to turn the saber on just by hitting the power button, the green P4 LED lights up the blade. You can see the backlight behind the auxiliary button. You get the blaster block, the lockup sound, the flickering of the blade. It's all Crystal Focus, it's all Plecter Labs. As you're fighting, doing your thing, you can still see that the indicator for the battery level has dropped a little bit because it'll alter with the power requirements of the blade and of the rumble motor that's inside and the sound. So it shows a bit of a stronger battery, and then when you turn it on, it drops a little bit. So during your duel, you'll be able to find out exactly what the conditions of the battery is. You may recognize the sound font is a Hero sound font from Crystal Focus that I engineered probably a year ago. Well, I've modified it for the Petit Crouton. Exact same sound font. The sounds mirror Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. Sense the clashes. And of course the classic on and off. You can really feel the rumble motor in this saber. So anyways, that's the functioning of the Petit Crouton. I really like it. The gesture detection is a little bit more like a master replica saber than it is a Crystal Focus. The Crystal Focus got much more of a natural gesture selection, so you can tell a bit of a difference. Still, it's a very smooth saber. It operates well when you're dueling. The clashes come through really clear. With this one, you've got, as with the rest of the Crystal Focus, you've got 8 clash sounds, 8 distinct swing sounds, the blaster block. It's a lot more sounds than are packed into a master replica, more than double. One of the things that I wanted to point out with this saber, use as an opportunity to share this, is there's been a lot of conversation on the forums recently about why some custom sabers are seemingly worth so much more than the parts would cost to do it yourself. My sabers are probably among the more guilty, seeing as some of them have sold upwards of $2,000. So I want to go through this one a little bit and give you an explanation of some of the things that add the value and why people would pay more for a saber built by a sabersmith than they would just for a do-it-yourself. The parts you can get from custom saber shop, you can get them somewhat customized. Of course, I do my own customizations, but what people don't realize is that a saber like this I've had on a drawing board for a number of months and working with the design, deciding where to put the grooves, where to where to apply the powder coating, what colors offset which. A lot of work goes into it. I know most of the saber smiths, like myself, we've done a lot of work not just on the outside of the saber, but on the inside of the saber as well. You cannot put a price on proper wiring. So many sabers have gone wrong. They've smoked, they've shorted out, damaged parts because they're not properly wired. So each one of the switches, the LED, the rumble motor, they all got proper electronics, whether it be a resistor or the proper wiring and heat shrink. In this case, I've got a custom PVC sled that extends into the body of the saber that holds the batteries, isolates them from the metal. It holds the wiring as a harness. It holds the soundboard in there with a spring action so that it clips in and can pop out. The wires are all run so that they're free and clear. You know, in the case of a Crystal Focus, you'd have access to the SD card. In the case of a Petit Crouton, it has an SD card, although that's locked in there. And once the saber is sold, it is unchangeable. All the details on it, they're not for alteration, and nobody would be able to alter it. I may even actually glue that in there. With the Crystal Focus, of course, that's why you pay the big bucks, so that you can customize it and do your own thing. Speakers properly mounted in there with an adhesive. The recharge port is threaded through a stopper that holds it in there, so that's not going to go anywhere. Everything is wired up really, really well and held in there the way it's supposed to be. So those are the kinds of things that are going to cost a little bit more money to have someone who's done, you know, dozens of sabers like myself to do the custom job. So there, thanks for looking. This one's probably going to go up on eBay simply because I'm really curious to find out what a Petit Crouton equipped saber will sell for. I really don't have any idea. I'm hoping it's somewhere between the $700 to $1,000 range for a saber like this, but we'll find out. Until next time.